Alright guys, this is the Camon 18. Interesting. This is how I kept away the screws. I bet you guys could already figure out that. And it's a phone that needed a screen replacement. This is the replacement screen. It's in because I already plugged it when I was trying to buy it. This is the battery. I think I already did a video on how to open and get this far. I'm going to attach it there, and also in the description I'll put the link to it. So when the battery gets off, of course, now that's how you know how to replace the battery. This has to be unplugged, and the process of removing the screen involves you placing this on heat, and it will come off. Still see it in that video, and this will actually get out of the frame like that. Basically, that's roughly how you would remove the screen. Now at this stage, we are simply here to place the screen, and that is actually a simple task. It's just a gluing thing. This shouldn't be left there because there's no space to accommodate it under the screen. Now we go to the stage where we clean the surface that is supposed to receive adhesive, because the quality of bond is determined by the cleanliness of the two surfaces that are going to be bonded. The one for the replacement screen already is clean. Let me actually turn that upside down so I don't spill debris onto it. So I need to clean this. I'm going to use my surgical blade today. It has decided to behave in an elusive manner. I don't seem to find it. It's playing hide and seek, but I'm not willing to seek, so let's proceed with this. So right now I'm just scraping off the residual adhesive from removing the old screen. Be careful, there's this dust grail for the earpiece speaker. Don't rip it off because it's very hard to come by, let alone replace. Now we need to clean this. I noticed some adhesive had gone to this. Should be, I think, proximity sensor right under there, sort of directs light. Is it? Let me see from the underside. Now I can't see because the motherboard is in place, but need to make it, because at times this can pose problems whereby you bring this to the ear and sorry, like when a call, okay, let me keep this. When making a call and you bring a phone to the ear, it's what detects that the phone is next to your ear and turns off the screen and touch capabilities so that your skin doesn't keep touching random things during the call. So when you are placing the screen and you block it, your phone will go dark when a call is received, and makes it very hard for you to end the call. So that's usually the symptoms you'll face should you clog that thing. And I'm just cleaning this. Alright, I'm done scraping the excessive adhesive. Now I'm going to use isopropyl alcohol to wipe any oily substance that would get in the way. Okay, like that. Be careful not to darten that camera lens, because they're not the easiest things to clear up, and you don't want to be the reason that the client no longer has clear selfies or photos. Alright, the bottom, I think it's done. Now we bring the adhesive. Alright, so the adhesive I use is this E8000. Good bonding properties, seeing that most phones normally have very small surface area over which the adhesive and bonding occurs. Now imagine how tiny the surface area is that I'm using, and this is responsible for that entire mass of screen. So you better use the strong adhesive such that at least long life is guaranteed for the screen you've placed. Once these screens start lifting, that is usually the beginning of disaster for them, and so you don't want to unknowingly be the cause to someone's unhappiness in the future. Alright, I actually always argue that a perfectly repaired device will last as long as a new one would. So there's no excuse to say, this device, because it was once repaired, therefore its lifespan depreciated. Now the next stage is to also apply adhesive on this other surface. Now I don't want any dirt falling in between there, and therefore I'm going to temporarily hold it sideways where my adhesive wants to stick right there. So this is usually my fun part, because there's actually a guide for my hand, so it quite makes it easy for me to run the adhesive down the length. It's like the LCD panel provides for me a guide. I don't like this nonsense. Every time I buy a screen from these guys, this is where they put this tape. They claim some phones at times become insensitive, they don't put, but the thing is that the people they give tend to put excessive adhesive that tends to go in between there, and that has a solvent that tends to dissolve the conducting lines for the fiber. So just make sure it's not so much, and after putting the adhesive, we shall give it a minute or two to roughly set so it's not extremely fluid, and that prevents it seeping to under those parts. So this guy think that's the solution, but I think it causes more problem. Anyway, this doesn't belong. It was simply there as a placeholder, and we have to unpeel it. And under here there is that blue tape. It's supposed to also be unpeeled to help us restrain this fiber onto the frame. So I'm going to pull it and stick it right there, and that is clean and neat, waiting for us to bond the two together now. So in the meantime, hit the subscribe button as I wait a minute or two for that adhesive on both surfaces to gain some form of strength, and then we bring them together. I think that's sufficient. Now let me pick this and bring them together. Do not forget to unblock this as we bring it together. This allows for the front camera to sit, so this was to protect that glass from getting dirty, so that when we put it, our front camera can see through it. Now we push this down. Now lucky for us, this is the fiber that only does one purpose, bringing signal to the display and touch. There are those where it's also responsible for bringing power signals from the lower board to the upper board, but we're glad this is only and only for the screen. So we plug that in, and then roughly align that like that, okay. Alright, now the next thing is we're bringing our battery down there. We're going to put some adhesive there, and let's do just about that. Okay, at this point I should be getting ready to receive the back. So my thing chose to fall where I need to put adhesive. You don't belong. Your purpose has been served. Alright, that's that. And we bring our battery right there, sit it, then plug this in there. Oh, this had jumped out. Make sure we plug it, otherwise the person may fail to be able to charge the device. Yeah, it's going to cause trouble by tearing this guy's fingerprint sensor. I'm trying to stick my screws that I'd packed away down. The tape decided to hold onto the fingerprint fiber, which would be a terrible disaster. Okay, our screws are ready for operation. Alright, so we also have to change this camera glasses. This guy left these to crack and kept them exposed, so I need to clean the camera lenses because they have to be clear. And I normally encourage people to replace them as soon as they crack. Otherwise, it's pointless having an unclear camera on a smartphone, because I believe a smartphone, half of its functions are cameras. Okay, now I brought the replacement glasses, so I'm going to just puncture these out and remove them and then clean around and then come back.